hello everybody else who's watching this. I'm Priyadeep from the Global Alliance for Mass Entrepreneurship, or GAME. GAME, as many of you know, is a platform for mission-aligned partners to learn, innovate, and collaboratively build a mass entrepreneurship ecosystem across India. The current series, which is 60 Days, 60 Voices, is a learning and knowledge series to speak with different organizations, to speak with many of our partners, to understand how we can, collaboratively and together enable MSMEs to come back to life in the post-COVID world. And today I'm very excited to have Mr. Anand Vijay Jha at 60 Days, 60 Voices, who is the Chief Public Policy Officer at Walmart India. Anand is a former civil servant and has held important roles such as additional DG at Competition Commissions of India, and he was Commissioner of Mumbai Division of Indian Railways. Welcome, Anand, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. I know how GAME is actively engaged in supporting the MSME, and it's a privilege to be a part of that.
Thank you so much. With this, Anand, I'll just dive into my first question. As all of us know that Walmart, works with a very large number of MSMEs in India. What's your overall understanding of the challenges they are facing in these current times?
So I think there are threefold challenges which MSME is facing. I think the first one is with respect to the challenge in front of working capital. Because there is no demand and because they could not carry on their activity, naturally they could not do sales, and there is a cash flow challenge which they are facing in a big time. See, most of the people from whom they were obtaining their raw materials and to whom they were selling the materials, all of them are also facing a cash flow challenge. So cash flow challenge is the ecosystem challenge.
Absolutely.
Because MSME operates in a very small cash flow and a kind of a backup war chest, they are much more impacted than the people who are organized and who have deep pockets. I think the second challenge, which is big time, is now that government is allowing MSME to operate and start the business. Because of the kind of fear that was, generally in the ecosystem, right. Most of the laborers who work in the MSME sector are migrants. We have seen a huge, movement of migrant laborers back to their home. So most of the MSMEs, the catchment laborers which they had, it's not available anymore. Right. So naturally, the laborers, it's not just about getting one another, it's also about the skill set which the laborers had developed over time to work with this particular MSME. So finding the same kind of a laborer set of people and getting them that skill will take some time. So naturally, we are put behind in many ways because of the labor crisis which is coming, which is being faced by MSME. And I think the third big challenge which MSME faced is all of a sudden change in the demand pattern. With an announcement of COVID and government restrictions, people just shifted to buying the essential commodities. Right. So if the MSME was actually not engaged in, producing of essential commodities, they were all of a sudden caught off guard. Now, some of them did try to improvise, but it takes time for improvisation. It takes time to understand what are the new patterns of demand which is taking place. And also the fact that most of the demands were coming from government agencies like hospitals and government institutions, NGOs. Right. Probably MSMEs were not that well prepared to address these challenges.
Okay, so I think, and given that, at Walmart, you're seeing so much of this, how are you, supporting and enabling some of these MSMEs, and what looks, like the plan going forward from your point of view?
So, success of Walmart lies in the success of its supply chain. I mean, globally, we are known as the people who have been right at the front of, developing a great supply chain. And we realize that our suppliers are the core, portion of that supply chain. They are the ones who actually keep us going. And MSME constitute a huge portion of that supply chain. Now, faced with this realization and as COVID struck everybody off guard, we did try to, innovate in our own way and see how we can help the MSMEs. So some of the steps that we have taken is, and especially I'm talking about India, is, first of all, sharing with the MSMEs their burden in terms of skilling their laborer, letting them understand the demand pattern. So in last 2 months that now lockdown has practically been in place, right, we have identified what are the demand areas. So let's say surgical kits, PPEs, sanitizing equipments, and then try to match the MSMEs who are probably closer to those kind of lines of production, and getting them that visibility on what's going to happen and the kind of demand that is going to be there in these areas. So we have in India, we have identified around 199 MSMEs whom we have helped in quickly adapting to the new demand pattern and addressing those demands. The second thing is that there will be so as I said, that there is a major challenge in working capital. Now, the kind of business that we have, neither are we in a position to directly provide a working capital kind of a support. But we understand that government itself is doing a lot of positive things in trying to protect the MSMEs. So what we have done is, so many times government schemes have a challenge in terms of understanding,
right?
In terms of making the MSME aware that such a scheme is there and doing that hand holding, because MSMEs sometimes are simply overawed by the government procedures and kind of collaterals that the government may be demanding. So we have in India, we have launched a very interesting program called Vriddhi, which is all about supporting MSME. It is directly being funded by the Walmart International. And under the Vriddhi program, one interesting step that we took in, I can share an example, is in Panipat, where we had organized these MSME in clusters. And there were two clusters, that is textile and in home utensils, because we know that there's a lot of work there in and around, and many MSMEs working in that area. So what we did is we collaborated with SIDBI, which is actually the disbursing agency for all the support funds which the government is planning. We called the experts from SIDBI office, who are senior professionals working there, made them as facilitators, and we organized a webinar of all these cluster members in and around Panipat area, with specific focus to textile and home utensils and appliances, and how they can come back quickly to this area and what funds that can be available. So there we have actually 4-pronged strategy. We have an informal WhatsApp group based on the clusters. So we have identified the entire India. We have mapped in terms of type of MSMEs, what are their specialized areas, and what kind of support do they need. So we have a WhatsApp group based on the cluster. So in the WhatsApp group, we keep sending the updates which we come to know about that MSME, which can help people. Then of course, there is this webinar which we are organizing in each of the clusters. So this one was organized on 5th of May. And some great questions there directly from the MSMEs to the SIDBI officials. So we were very happy that we could sort out many of those teething problems there. So that's another area. We are developing a chatbot also. That's in right now in a trial stage. And we are developing an e-learning content for MSME, which is also in a trial stage. But I would say that we are quite convinced that these are the way to go forward. If you look at with the program, initially we had just planned to support 50,000 MSME. But because of COVID, now we are seeing an opportunity to actually support way more people in form of e-learning content, in form of engaging them through webinar, because thereby we'll save their cost of traveling to a training center, and as well as increase their accessibility to such information. Yeah, so that's so far what we have been doing.
That's really amazing, and I think expanding the scope beyond the 50,000 MSMEs, I think that's a wonderful step. My next question actually leads directly into that. How do you see the broader ecosystem? Other stakeholders working together in playing a key role in supporting MSMEs across the country?
Yeah, so if you look at I will talk from the point of view of modern retail. Because that's what we specialize in. That's what our forte is. So modern retail is heavily dependent upon a very, organized supply chain. And suppliers are a very key component to our success. So when people come to Walmart, they are expecting 3-4 things. One is they're expecting that they will have an assortment. So there's a lot of variety of goods. And secondly, they are expecting a great price, which is very transparent in terms of how it has been arrived. That's their second expectation. And of course, their third expectation, which is that how we, especially in India, how we help them grow their business, because Walmart in India is operating into B2B space.
Right.
So naturally, if there are better margins, that it really helps them. If we can help them identify the customer demand pattern or what's the new area. So that's from Walmart point of view, these are the critical areas where we are supporting the MSME. But when you talk about the larger ecosystem, then I think there is a great role which the government has to play. They are already playing, but they need to make it. See, the idea is that the government processes have to be simplified. If you look at some of our competing countries, the reason why they are moving faster pace than India is because they have had a much more simplified process of getting these loans, getting approval,
Absolutely.
adjugation of disputes, having it more friendlier and more business-like. Even during COVID-19, you'll find that the MSMEs or the people who are operating in business, they have faced more challenge from police than from business itself.
Yeah.
So the regulatory environment in which we are operating really has to be made business friendly. Then only we can go to the next level. I mean, the reason why Vietnam or Cambodia is becoming more preferred choice for those productions which are shifting out of China is because, of course, there's a proximity to China. That's a primary reason. But it is also because of a better infrastructure in terms of physical infrastructure and in terms of regulatory infrastructure. So I think MSME really requires that. I mean, it's just like if you wanted to buy, let's say, a mutual fund, then it takes exactly 5 minutes on a Paytm app or any fintech app. Now, I can't understand if I'm ready to, put in my private money through a private app, then why should I not be able to avail something which is government funded through a government app, probably as quickly? People are ready to trust private brands which are operating in digital space. Why won't they trust a government brand? They would, provided the processes are as simplified. So I think government really has to do, and I'm not saying that the government is not capable. It is immensely capable. I mean, look at what the government of India did in terms of passports. I mean, till yesteryears and today, there is a dramatic difference in terms of how the passports are being issued. So I think there is a need to replicate more such models. If you look at on-ground field level regulatory challenges, then labor inspectors, then inspectors from municipalities, environmental checks, they have to be really simplified. They have to be really made things which can be complied. Our rules have got such, expansive definition that it is always subject to interpretation. I think this is one area. And if it is subject to interpretation, it should be interpreted in favor of business, in favor of MSME, and not in favor of a regulatory authority. We don't want to increase regulation. So I think that's one area where government has to play a very critical role. I think market as such, what they can do is they can actually start looking at MSME from the point of view of long-term investment. I mean, we often use the example of Henry Ford, that people did not know that they need cars. Henry Ford imagined that if we give them these things, then people will use it and demand more. I think people who are into big businesses, they have to understand that MSMEs do not know what's around the curve. The job of crystal ball gauging has to be done by big players.
Right.
And we have to advise the MSME on what's going to happen next curve. So we really have to adopt MSME as a part of our business. The investment that we are doing, at least in Walmart, on MSME is with this clear understanding that it makes business sense to strengthen the MSMEs. So I think that will really help the ecosystem. I think another area which India can do well is, like, in India, there has been traditionally a lot of success story about being a government servant, getting a government job. And then there is after post-liberalization, there has been a lot of success story about being employees of private sector, big brands, multinationals. I think now there is a great need for us to carry the success story of MSME players, entrepreneurs, who are actually employing 5 or 10 people and doing some great work. Until our MSMEs start feeling pride in what they are doing, and as a country, until we own them, I find it really challenging how we will grow them positively. Because, dignity and recognition are the real opium for a great growth.
Totally. I think very well put. And I think, so you're saying that, look, there's one aspect of doing business, and it has to be simplified. It has to be made easier. Government has a role there. Second is large corporates being able to give the right direction and vision to MSMEs in order to see where the next opportunities lie. And finally, actually making ensuring that entrepreneurship is exciting, it's aspirational, it's and celebrating the success stories. I think that's a fantastic 3 point approach there. Finally, if you were to advise MSMEs, to like, what would your advice to them be? What would you like to tell them from now, and what should they look at in the next year, 12 months or so?
So I would say that there are two things. One is that any support, whether it is from the government or the consultants or the big players in the market, will come only when you demand. So I think MSMEs need to be more forthright in terms of asking what they want, seeking more clarity. Like, I'll give you an example. We have a program called Women Entrepreneurship Development Program.
Right.
So we have ran it for last 3 years very successfully. This year we have invested in a NGO called Mandeshi in Maharashtra. Again, idea is that even when we are doing CSR, we really want to strengthen people for lifetime. It's not just a question of doing charity. It's a question of improving our country as a whole. And MSME are very critical component of this improvement process. I mean, if you look at the speech given by Prime Minister yesterday,
right,
I think his entire focus was on self-reliance, MSME, and how it is domestic production and manufacturing which will see India through, and nothing else. So from this point of view, if we have this realization, I think one thing that I would really want MSME is to not get carried away by anything which is like a frill. I mean, like when we were doing this Vidhi program, we were having this, challenge on understanding on whether we need an academic collaboration. Do we need to give a certificate to MSMEs? And we came to a very studied and organized conclusion that no, what MSME needs is an addressing of their pain points. They do not want another certificate of having got some training. They actually want redressal of those issues which they're not being able to do. So imagine if I am a person who is amazing at making a home pickle, and I would want my pickle to go and start selling in many more houses than just being an amateur at my house, then imagining that this person, that is me, what is the first step I need? So what's a basic business license that is required? How can I onboard with something like Flipkart, or even for that matter, Amazon or Big Basket, whoever are the e-commerce players? And whether that onboarding is available to me free of cost, or are there charges? How will I sustain myself? So, we are also helping women entrepreneurs in branding their product. So how do you brand your product? How do you make people know where you exist, in terms of visibility? So providing them visibility. So I think MSMEs really need to become more business-like and stop getting into any self-pity mode. We have to understand that to be successful business, we may have to fail in many of the businesses. Right. So if I have decided to be an MSME or an entrepreneur, I should imagine that probably I'll fail in 9 businesses and the 10th one will be successful. Not give up, keep asking the right questions. I think if we avoid all the frills of business and focus on the value proposition, that what is the product you bring and why the market should value your product, there is no reason why Indian MSME sector cannot grow.
Absolutely. I think that's very well said. With that, it brings me to an end to my set of questions. I would like to thank you from the core of my heart, Anand. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and we look forward to being continuously engaged with you, with Walmart, learn from you, and of course, you have your partnership in this journey of enabling small businesses.
Absolutely. My best wishes to GAME and to the work they are doing to support MSME. Thank you.
Thank you so much.